Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I have a special guest today, which I will introduce to you in a bit, but today's topic is about pre-qualification, pre-Q as we call it. So today's guest is no one other than Nadine Foresight, our Director of Sales.
Hey, Ben. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Ben.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And today we have an amazing topic to cover. And without further ado, I'm going to share my screen so I can show you a few slides.
Awesome.
Got pre-Q. Okay, pre-Q stands for pre-qualification. So I'm going to start it up. It's a very fascinating concept in the mortgage industry, in the real estate industry entirely. A consumer, once they start their planning, they want to know what is the maximum purchase price they can afford. This is before they start searching for a home. Now, it's pretty challenging for a mortgage broker because there's all these pieces of information that they need to capture in order to give the consumer this accurate number. But what's really funny is that in addition to all these information that they need to capture, they also need a property. They need to know the condo fees, the taxes, the heat, the location of the property, all on the property that the consumer has not even started looking for, which is so confusing. It's all part of the algorithm, but it's the most confusing thing to consumers because how can they even start looking for a property if they don't know what they can afford? We have solved this amazing challenge introducing you to our pre-qualification tool on the mobile app. And what does it do? Well, once you send your pre-qual tool to your client can literally in a couple minutes run through this amazing wizard and receive the accurate pre-qualification number. They also get a beautiful brand report sent to their inbox, and of course on their app it will also show the value. Your pre-qual tool actually searches all possible scenarios and it tries to maximize the purchase price for that client. It fully complies with the B20 guidelines. And if you don't know what that is our stress test. It also estimates location-specific home expenses, which Nadine will show you in a bit. At the end, you also get notified in real time with all the information that the client has completed so that you can follow up and help your client even further. A testimonial by Jen Woodley.
I use the My Mortgage Toolbox app for all of my clients. I always send them the pre-qualification certificate, and they are always so impressed and think that I've put in so much work when in actuality, all I've really done is just pressed a few buttons. So thank you, MMT. You make my life so much easier, and I just love it.
Thank you, Jen. So all she does is just quickly use the app and generate this amazing report for her clients without going through all those details that I showed you in the previous slide. So we've actually generated over 180,000 pre-qualifications since we published this feature. I'm gonna now turn it to Nadine because she's gonna give us a nice demo on how this pre-qual works. Go for it, Nadine.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. I'm very excited to be here today to show everybody how to use the pre-qualification tool and generate their own pre-qual reports from their clients and prospects. So on the screen, I have the consumer version of the app. So this would be how it looks when you're, as a broker or agent, share the app with a client. In fact, Ben, if I could get you to help me out and be the client, because I really want to show people how easy it is for a client to become pre-qualified right from home using the tool that their mortgage agent has provided for them.
Absolutely, Nadine. I'll do that. So I'm going to pretend that this is my phone and I'm using it at the comfort of my couch.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. The first question that the app is going to ask is, where do you plan to buy? We've actually aggregated mill rates, heat expenses from all across Canada, property taxes, so that we can have the most accurate maximum purchase price calculations. So Ben, where do you plan to buy?
I'm planning to purchase in Toronto.
All right, there we go. So the next question is, are you buying a house or a condo? As you and I know, and mortgage professionals know, there's different maintenance and tax requirements for condos versus houses. There's also different rental requirements, but your consumer at home on the couch using the app may not know that. So the app is designed to take that into consideration in the calculations. So if you're buying a house, there's 3 rental options: owner occupied, partially rented, or fully rented. And of course, condo only has the option of fully fully owner occupied or fully rented. Which one's you, Ben?
So I'm thinking about a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you plan to rent out your new house?
Yes. Let's planning to rent out the basement suite.
Excellent. And of course, that is going to increase your purchasing power. So how much do you think you're going to charge for rent in Toronto?
Ooh, that could be somewhere around 1,900, 2,000 for the basement.
Probably, yeah. We'll do 1950 right in the middle.
Sure.
And how much is your down payment?
I've saved up about 150,000.
Excellent. Good for you.
Thank
You've
you.
been saving since the day you were born.
It took me years.
All right. And do you have any outstanding balances?
I do have a credit card debt. Yes.
Okay.
My balance right now, I'd say it's around 5,000.
Okay. Any line of credit?
No line of credit.
Okay. So this is
What
going to be.
happens if I do have line of credit though?
So if you do have a line of credit, I believe that there is a Bank of Canada rule around that, but I'm going to ask you to explain that because I think you can do a better job of it than I can.
Okay, well, it's the unsecured loan. So it's going to calculate at the minimum payment, which is 3%. And then in some provinces, it's actually 4%. But if it's over 50,000, the balance, then it's going to use the Bank of Canada rate amortized over 25 years. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So are there any other loans?
I do have a car lease. Yes.
Okay.
350.
Okay.
Monthly.
Anything else?
No other loans. No. Lucky.
Lucky you. Okay. So what is your employment status? This is going to, there's different requirements for different statuses, employed versus self-employed. Obviously self-employed, we need 2 years of the average of 2 years income.
Okay. Well, I am self-employed.
All right, let's go with that. And it isn't even within the app, we have a handy little where to find this button for any clients or consumers that don't know where they can find this information. They can tap on here and figure that out. So what is your 2-year average income? And also remember, if you're applying with another person, combine his or her annual income with yours.
Okay, great. Let's go with 150.
Excellent. Okay. And do you know your credit score?
I actually don't know my score.
Okay, excellent. So if you don't know your score, the app will ask you how would you rate your credit? So does it need some work? Obviously, this affects the level of risk the lender is willing to take. Needs work, good, or excellent. I just want to show everyone, if you were to know your credit score, you could actually enter the exact number if you know it. Or you can choose from a bracket. But you did mention that you don't know yours. So what would you say? Is it good?
It's
Needs work?
It's got to be excellent.
Perfect. All right. Now, before I calculate the home price, Ben mentioned earlier, you mentioned earlier in the presentation that you'll receive a notification and a copy of the report. So I'm just going to pause for a second here and I'm going to bring up my other phone, which will be the mortgage agent or mortgage professional, because I want you to see the notifications as they come in and just how quickly it happens, the power of the pre-qualification tool. All right. So now that I have both phones up, the phone on the left-hand side is you as the mortgage agent, and the phone on the right-hand side is the pre-qualification that we've been working through from the perspective of a consumer client home buyer. So I'm going to tap on calculate my home price, and you'll notice that it goes through all of the potential factors: debt service, insurability, the mortgage payments. And as it's calculating the maximum purchase price, it's actually taking all of that data and sending it over to you as the mortgage agent or broker. So you now have verified email, the client's contact information as they entered it. their profile, their annual income, the rental income, their credit information for debt payments, the estimated property, the estimated mortgage. We even have the add back 80% for the rental income in here. So incredible amount of detail comes over to you instantly. Even if the client hasn't tapped here on finish and generated the report, you still get their contact information and you still get all of that data and the leads. So even if they don't proceed, you're able to have their information and you can reach out and start the full application.
Oh, well, yeah, I saw a get pre-approved button at the bottom. So I was just wondering what that is.
That's a great question. So once your client has received the report and they do decide they want to get pre-approved, or they're so excited by the number that very moment they decide to tap on get pre-approved, this is actually linked to the mortgage broker, mortgage agent's online application. So they're going to leave the app and actually land on the full application where they can start submitting the required documents for a formal pre-approval. There we go.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it goes right to your the mortgage broker agent's online application.
I just got an email too. Let me show you what it looks like. So I've just received this email with a comprehensive report that was sent on behalf of the agent, and the agent is branded right here on top. It will include the summary of the pre-qualification, including the home price that I was looking for, my down payment, the actual mortgage amount, what the mortgage payments can be, and also some of the estimated factors that the app generated, which is the estimated heat, estimated property taxes that it used. My information is all here. A summary of my debt payments are all here, and the MQR, the mortgage qualifying rate, is also stated right here. And just to be on the safe side, we actually blocked out the interest rate so that it shows to be quoted. This way, the agent can actually have a conversation with the client about the actual rate itself. The GDS, TDS are here as well, and the insurability. Also, what tax rate we use. If it happens that the client is in a remote location where we don't have the property tax rates, the app intelligently goes and searches the closest city with a similar population for which we do have the tax rate and uses that for the estimation. In addition to that, depending on what app you're on, there's also additional reports and certificates sent with this. You can see on the right, I have some examples of what it can look like. But what's also very important on this report is the disclaimer. Now, I'm going to show you this in more detail in the next slide, but essentially what it does is it makes sure that the consumer knows that this pre-qualification is only a pre-qualification and it's not to be used for any purchase offers. So the pre-qualification report is actually delivered in an email that looks like this. You can see that it says download your pre-qualification certificate. And this part is extremely important. It says, please remember, pre-qualification is only an estimate of what you can afford. You cannot use it to place an offer on a property. Your next step is to obtain a formal pre-approval by a licensed mortgage professional. So now this button, Get Started, actually points to the same link, the same application link that Nadine showed in her demo.
Excellent. Ben, what happens if I am the mortgage broker or agent and someone contacts me and asks for a pre-approval, or sorry, for a pre-qualification, and I want to send that to them?
Oh, that's a good one, because now the consumer doesn't have the app. They're not doing it themselves. So I guess there's an admin part to it, Nadine. You can show that?
Yeah, I'll show the admin. And I think there's even a different email, right? So that they're able to download the app. So if I am answering these questions over the phone, or someone has sent me an email and I want to send them a really nice report, I can do the pre-qualification on my client's behalf as the mortgage agent broker. And I simply go to the admin feature section and I can email it over to them. So I just enter their first name, and you can CC if there's a realtor partner that you want involved, you can CC them, or if you have another mortgage agent or partner helping you, you can CC anybody you'd like, and you can send it over. And then Ben, you can show me what the email looks like.
Sure. Okay. So me being the customer who doesn't have the app yet, I will probably get this report and clearly says, download my app. So if your client doesn't have your app and you are completing the pre-qual on your phone, this will be the email. The report is also attached to the same email address, to the same email. And it says, use my app to get pre-qualified, and an opportunity for them to download your branded version. So I think that covers our demo. So what should people do, Nadine?
Well, get their app out to people so that they can get pre-qualified and start generating their own 180,000 pre-qualifications.
No, this is actually so easy to use. A client can do this literally anywhere. It takes seconds to do it. And hey, if the big banks are advertising these, why can't you? Why can't you go out there and post it on Facebook, or even have a billboard out there? You can actually have a billboard that looks just like this. Of course, this is a mock-up, but yours can look like this, and I'm 100% sure people will download. And those leads are warm leads because they've confirmed their phone number. They actually are looking for a mortgage or house in the future, so they're in the planning stages or even closer than just planning.
You know what, Ben, that also makes me think about realtor partners as well. Anybody that has the Pro Plus, they can have their realtor partners can have the pre-qualification through their version of the app. Or if you don't have Pro Plus, but you do have realtor partners that you're working with, they can add the QR code to feature sheets. There's people putting it on tent cards at open houses so that someone can scan and see if they pre-qualify for that particular property right in the moment while they're excited about it. So I even have somebody who is hanging their QR code on for sale signs.
Oh, wow.
Their realtor partner was like, go for it. And so he gave his realtor partners a bunch of QR codes on like a door hanger that they were hanging on for sale signs. So lots of different creative ways that it's being used.
Amazing. Those are some great ideas, Nadine. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. There is lots of amazing positive feedback, both from agents, realtors, and their clients that we have on the store. The app has generated over 17,000 reviews, and we are so happy that we could help everyone with this beautiful tool. For those of you who are looking to learn more about the app, we have this training video library that you can actually get access to for free. And all you have to do is scan this QR code, and it'll take you directly to the Vimeo showcase. And that's all, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Nadine, any final words?
No, thanks again for having me on, and looking forward to anybody who has any questions. You can also reach out to me, but super happy to see people using it and getting those pre-qualifications in.
Thank you so much for your time as well, Nadine. Thanks for the amazing demo, and see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.